Hi, everybody. I'm Brittany Lewis, a breaking news reporter here at Forbes. Joining me now is Philip K. Howard, chairman of Common Good. Philip, thank you so much for joining me.
Great being with you, Brittany.
It is great to have you. An exciting conversation today. 1 week after winning the election, President-elect Donald Trump announced that the richest man in the world, Elon Musk, and Vivek Ramaswamy, who ran against him for president, will co-lead the Department of Government Efficiency. And there have been mixed reviews to this announcement, but you penned an op-ed for the Wall Street Journal entitled this, Elon and Vivek Can Make Government Work Again. So simply put, how can they make government work again?
By focusing on the operating systems of government, not going around and slashing and burning, but getting rid of these ridiculous red tape processes that do no good for anybody. It's just paper pushing. But you have to change the process in order to then slim down government.
How do they change the process, especially as outsiders? Because let's look at their biographies just a little bit. Elon Musk co-founded several revolutionary companies like Tesla and SpaceX. He now owns X, which was formerly known as Twitter. Vivek Ramaswamy is a biotech founder. He also is a former Republican presidential candidate. Are Musk and Ramaswamy the right people here?
Well, I think Musk's instincts are certainly right. I mean, he's a very practical guy. If you read how he runs his companies, he's like a sort of modern day Thomas Edison, rolls up his sleeves. And that's a lot of what government needs. It needs a kind of can-do attitude. But that requires moving from a kind of a compliance-based red tape model of government, which we've had for, say, 50 years, to a human responsibility model of government that allows, for example, procurement officers in the Department of Defense to actually negotiate contracts with vendors that they trust instead of going through this hyper-neutral, years-long, spec everything in advance contracts that no business leader would ever do because it takes too long and you can't ever anticipate all the different issues of a complicated contract. You have to have a relationship where you work things out and be practical. So it involves changing the underlying operating systems of government.
How do you change these underlying operating systems? Because you said in your piece that this idea isn't radical, but something that is synonymous almost is red tape and government. So how do you do this in a way that isn't radical?
Well, some things you can do by executive order. So, for example, I've argued that terminating public employees who everybody knows aren't doing the job is something that the president has a constitutional right to do, and he can simply do that. And I've also argued that you can renounce the collective bargaining obligation imposed on the president by Congress, because who's Congress to tell the president how to fulfill his constitutional responsibility? So there are certain things that you can do by executive order. There are other things that actually require moving from a kind of a legislated complex model to a simpler model. And the way you do that, which I think neither Musk nor Ramaswamy have experience with, is the only way you get law changed is by bringing public opinion along with you. You can't do it by diktats from the White House. It's just not how democracy works. That's the reason FDR had fireside chats. You've got to bring the public along with you, not simply say, I'm in charge now and I'm going to do all this. It just doesn't work that way.